Hey everyone, what up? Mad Kaiser here. And today I thought why not I talk about Tales of Arise and what's happened so far with it. Now you might be asking why am I talking about this particular game. Here's some multiple reasons. If you guys follow me on Twitter, you guys probably know that I'm actually a big Tales fan. Like last year I got into the series through Tales of Vesperia Definitive Edition. I played through all other 7 Mothership titles, including Berseria, which is my favorite, Systeria, which I actually enjoy, the Zelia duology, Tales of Grace's F, Symphonia, and Abyss. And I pretty much love the series, from its amazing characters, incredible stories, amazing art style, and themes that sets itself apart from all other entries to make itself fresh and stand alone in a sense, as well as having just some fun gameplay and amazing music and brilliant character designs. And of course, the reason why I was interested in the Tales series is because of Tales of Arise. When I first saw that reveal trailer, I was like, damn, that looks so good, and I want to know more about the series. And my friend Aram, or actually I won't be able to pronounce her name even though her real name is Grace. My friend Grace gave me a full lecture on the series, and thank you for that. I still appreciate you doing that for me. So I just want to talk about Tales of Arise and what we know so far about it. Now, as you guys probably know, that Tales of Arise is going to be the latest entry in the long-running Tales of series, and it's going to be quite different compared to Tales games of the past. First and foremost is the new engine. For the first time in the series, Tales of Arise is going to be using the well-known popular Unreal Engine 4, where in the last previous games, specifically during the Zelia duology all the way to Berseria, they have been using nothing more than their in-house engine. So they decided for the new one to make it into the Unreal Engine 4, which, oh my god, was it an amazing step in direction, because my god, does this game look absolutely phenomenal. Like, there's been lots of games that look incredible with Unreal Engine 4, like Kingdom Hearts 3, Final Fantasy 7 Remake, Crash Bandicoot 4 It's About Time, Borderlands 3, as well as Code Vein, Dragon Quest 11S Definitive Edition, Life is Strange 2, the list goes on, and even some upcoming games like Scarlet Nexus and SMTV are also going to be done with Unreal Engine 4. So I'm glad that Tales of Rise is sticking to that boat, as they find much better and give it some more cinematic feel to it. Now of course, that also brings on what else it has to provide. So let's see what else it provides. Now you guys know that the producer, known as Tomizawa, was the producer of things like Code Vein, the God Eater series, and even Tales of Vesperia Definitive Edition. Now, as we know, in terms of staff working on this game, it's revealed that they'll have staff for new people who are new and passionate to the series, as well as other staff that were from Tales of Berseria, and even staff members from the very first Tales game, Tales of Fantasia, which that sounds pretty interesting, to be honest. Now, other things they talked about in past interviews was that it's going to be extremely encounter based, as well as other things like it will have, of course, the Unreal Engine, and while it may not be open world, it will still be open enough in a way it feels like there's tons to explore, which really makes me excited, because The environments they shown in the game through screenshots and the trailers look absolutely phenomenal, like so very rich and immersive that I really feel I just want to explore so much. Like honestly, it's just absolutely great, and honestly the music they played for the first one is fantastic. Now of course they did put a date saying that it's like an unofficial 2020 release date. And then soon after that first trailer, which was from E3, we then cut to TGS 2020, no, sorry, TGS 2019, where they showed another trailer from a pretty mediocre panel at best, and they give some interesting things. First and foremost was the two main leads. The two main leads, Alphen and Xion, and other things like on how there's two planets, with one called being Dana, which is a medieval world that has been taken over and enslaved by Rena, a world that's more magic and technological based, which kind of almost sounds similar to the whole Olympios Maxia thing from the Xillia duology, which I'm glad they're going with. Like, hopefully we get to explore both worlds a lot more than we did in the first game, where we had to just where we can explore all of Maxia, but only very little of Olympios, which that was a bit of a letdown, honestly. Other things they also mentioned about astral energy, which does sound similar to stuff like Vesperia's Air and Abyss's Phonons, which is an interesting plot point, and other things about our two main leads, Alphen and Xion. With Alphen, apparently he's like, immune to pain, like he can't feel a thing, but he also wields his flame sword, and honestly he actually looks so badass. So this will be interesting. And then we also have Xion, who, oh my god, is so pretty and beautiful. Like, oh my god, she's such a queen. Like, I absolutely love her character design. And the same goes for Alphen. His character design is also great. But oh my god, Xion. She's so beautiful. Oh my god. She's gonna be my next waifu. She's my new Tails waifu. Like, I'm sorry, Velvet Crow. I love you so much. But, sorry, Xion, you're my new waifu. I love you so much. And as for, back to Xion. Xion has apparently a curse, and is apparently might be related to royalty from Reina, where apparently there were some knights chasing after her and taking her under arrest or something. But the thing is that with Xion, while she does have something like a healing art, she also has a curse of the rose or something, where if you touch her, you pretty much will be electrocuted from her. Like, oh my god. Like, maybe I wouldn't want to hug you spiritually or kiss you. Like, oh my god. And that actually pretty much brings an interesting thing, since these two characters are from different worlds and have different drawbacks, and yet they're going to be a thing together, which, well, that really sounds a lot interesting and really investing on how to go. Now there's other things they also showed us involving a little bit of a tease of our third party member and our new mascot. We don't see on who that person is because it's covered by a big hood. Like, oh my god, how? Like, do you really need that big of a hood? Like, oh my god. And that party member passes out till we see an owl, and that could be our mascot. I'm not sure on who was speaking, either if this mascot actually speaks or not, something like Tipo, Miu, and Bienfu, or just gonna be like a non-talking one like Noish and Rapide. But yeah, honestly that thing looks so adorable. Like, oh, it's so cute. Like, it's honestly like seriously. But of course, the main highlight for this trailer was, of course, the gameplay. While we didn't see much of it, we did see enough just to get pretty much excited, honestly. Like, oh my god, like the combos that Alphen does looks absolutely fast, fluid, and so epic. Like, oh my god. Like, depending on what battle system goes through, whether it's stuck into the archery, which I believe Grace's F, Zisteria, and Vizier went through, or it's going to like the other battle system. I can't remember what the actual term is. It's just the one that had in games like Symphonia, Abyss, and Vesperia, or it could be like a combination of both, like the duology. Like, honestly, I just don't know what it'll be like, but I have to say it looks pretty dope. And things couldn't be more dope because we just saw was just a taste of this combo till he whips out the flame sword, which, oh my god, looks so badass. Like, honestly, that gameplay is just so damn hype. I'm definitely excited to see more of it in the final game. And of course, the same goes for Shion and the other playable characters. Now, of course, we bring into today for Tales of Arise. Now, recently, there has been interesting things regarding Tales of Arise. First and foremost is that Tales of Arise has been recently rated in other countries such as Taiwan, Brazil, Korea, Australia. Like they previously like given ratings of the game like age ratings and stuff. And that's a thing because a lot of games when they're in development or not, they recently will get like leaked or rated in other countries, giving an indication that it will be coming very soon, like either later or very soon around a year, or even next year if possible. And then the other thing is that Tales of Arise was also in a poll from Famitsu where it was revealing on what was the most anticipated games in Japan. And funny enough, Tales of Arise has been for like the past few months remained number one as the most anticipated by Famitsu, which, holy crap, I'm honestly surprised that that game, like out of all the other games that have been, hyped or been released or about to be released, games like Final Fantasy 16, Cyberpunk 2077, SMTV, Monster Hunter Rise, Kingdom Hearts Melody of Memory, which just came out, all the other games like Bayonetta 3, like all of them could not even surpass Tales of Arise. Like Tales of Arise really got the most votes out of all the other games that have been anticipated. Like it's even higher than Breath of the Wild 2, Elden Ring, and even Scarlet Nexus. Like, oh my god, like honestly, there's people, like I know Tales isn't that much big in the West, but in Japan, like holy crap, like there's like a dedicated audience and fan base of that in Japan. Like, oh my god. I mean, we're still a good fan base and dedicated to Tales in the West. Am I right? Anyway, so yeah, I'm happy that Tales of Rise is number one because it deserves to be, and I definitely believe it is the most hype out of all the other games that's coming out next year and the years to come. Now we then cut to the saddest of news, which is the delay. Yep. This is pretty much one that broke a lot of us, but we had to understand, like we respected it. And of course was that Tales of Arise has been delayed, and they plan to push it like past 2020. Now what is the reason for this? It's event. Well, here is what Tomizawa has says. For everyone who has been patiently waiting for Tales of Arise, as you may have already seen in media stories and our social media channels, we made the decision to delay the launch timing of Tales of Arise, the latest title in the Tales of series. The goal for Tales of Arise is to provide a familiar but innovative gameplay experience to fans of the series, while pushing the technical envelope to deliver a high level of graphical quality to impress both long-time players and those who never have played a Tales game. Development on the title has moved steadily forward in 2020 as we overcame challenges along the way. While COVID-19 has affected some aspects of development, we've done our best to adapt to the situation and have implemented remote development capabilities for our team. However, we would need more time to achieve the quality and provide a gorgeous experience we envision for our players, and therefore we decided to delay the launch timing for Tales of Arise. A new launch window will be provided once we have more details to share. In the meantime, the determination of our development team has not weakened. It is always the darkest before the dawn, as illustrated in the image below. We will hope you will join us as a bring of a new Tales of Adventure to light. And of course, as compensation for that, they gave us this amazing new wallpaper, which I have put on my computer, which, oh my god, looks absolutely fantastic. So yeah, Tales of Arise has been delayed, which I wouldn't say is unsurprising, as that's kind of expected, because with COVID-19 being a thing, and sometimes doing remote development does affect the game quite a bit, as it's way different than working like together in an office with a bunch of game designers. Like, I honestly understand. Like, to be honest, I actually respect the decision. I was just a little bit disappointed because last year we had some news of Tales of Rise, but now with this delay and all, we recently had no other news regarding Tales of Rise despite the delay, despite the fact that it's been recently rated in other countries, and the fact that it has been voted number 1 on Famitsu's anticipated games poll thing. And yeah, and to be honest, when the whole digital gaming showcase came and I saw Bandai Namco, I was praying, I was hoping that they will show Tales of Arise in any way. Sadly, that did not come true, because what Bamco showed instead was Scarlet Nexus and some other anime IP. Now don't get me wrong, I'm also looking forward to Scarlet Nexus. Like, I'm actually pretty excited for that game, but to be honest, I do prefer Tales of Arise more than anything. To be honest, I'm more excited for Tales of Arise than I am for Final Fantasy 16, Nier Replicant, version 122, the next Kingdom Hearts game, whatever that is, Neo, The World's End with You, like any other game that's coming out this year and beyond. I'm sorry, right now, Tales of Rise is what I'm looking forward to the most. But yeah, I do understand the decision they had to make for it, and I do respect that, and I do pray that they will at least take their time with it and not rush it, because the past few Tales games we had were a little bit rushed in some aspects, like Xillia and Berseria. Like with Xillia, they had to cut some content, like new playable characters and stuff, and that the Olympios and the final dungeon was so underwhelming and so short. And as for Berzeria's case, I mean, it was developed like a year after Tales of Zestiria, which may be a detriment, involving stuff like reusing some assets, and also the fact that we had to use the skit cutscenes telling the main story instead of the amazing in-game cutscenes that normally Tales games provide, which does defeat the purpose of skits in a way. But yeah, despite all of that, and despite being very hungry for Tales of Arise, all I can say is that if we don't get any news for this year, then we should at least get for next year, because even though there has been some Tales of events like the Tales of Festival, and recently we got confirmed about the Tales 25th anniversary festival happening live stream, I really don't believe that we'll get any news of Tales of Rise. And for those who expected it to be on the Game Awards, I'm sorry, I don't think it's happening. I really would tell you to lower your expectations to the very bottom, because the chance of Tales of Rise appearing in the Game Awards is very low. It's non-existent even. I'm sorry. I'm very sorry. But aside from that, I will be happily waiting patiently for Tales of Arise, and I will have faith in the developers taking their best time, because the last thing I and a lot of other people want with that game is to be rushed, which honestly, it's all about the quality over the quantity, okay? And I want Tales of Arise to be a very quality game. But anyway guys, that's about it. So what do you guys think? Like, are you also excited for Tales of Rise? Are you saddened about the delay? Do you think we'll get any news for this year, or if not last year? Let me know in the comments below. Anyway guys, thanks for watching, so punch that like button, drop down a comment, and click that subscribe button if you're new. Now see you guys in the next video. Mad Kaiser, out.